Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Paul from the Money Mob. I pray that you all are fine. I pray that you are well. Money Mob, for those of you who are unaware of what we do, is a crowdfunding, crowd purchase movement that is dedicated using group economics to support Black businesses. Our main claim to fame is our Money Mob, where we target businesses and in regards to driving our customers to that. If we visit you, you pass the criteria, then we have what is called the Money Mob. The Money Mob in itself is about, as I said, group crowding. We will then make sure that we have an injection of cash into your business, but also we will then market, promote your businesses in a way that will be able to get more custom to you. Now, in addition to that, we have a weekly broadcast, which we call the Money Mob Black Business Podcast. And this is it today. I've got, which I believe is going to be a really, really fantastic guest. I have actually interviewed him before. And as I said, I really, really think that this will be one not for you to miss. But before that, I want to just say that I am actually filming at Impact Brixton, which is a Black-owned, Black-owned, conscious-driven, co-working space in the heart of Brixton. We are really here I'm here as a podcaster, but this particular premises is a place where if you want, you can actually register your business. If you want office space, hot desking, as well as an event space, meeting rooms per se, this is the place for you. Now, I know I'm speaking to the old owners per se. One of the things they are going to be looking to do definitely over the next few years is to support businesses, and their ambition is really to support not hundreds but thousands of businesses to realize their passion and then to impact the broader communities through their space. There's also networking, free educational activities and programs. And for those who are interested in using this space, please make sure that you use my name, Paul from the Money Mob, and that will give you 20% in regards to the membership fee in regards to this particular place. So, with not any much ceremony, I want to bring up my brother. As I said, I've known this brother for a number of years. Serious brother. He's to me a marketing genius. Just introduce you to my friend and brother John Mohammed. Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening, brother. How's yourself?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm great. Highly blessed and favored.
Yeah, good. So, first things, I mean, please let the watch the actual viewers know what you do, what you're a part of.
Well, I do a number of things and have a number of businesses, but I'm based on Mohammed. I've done business development and marketing and consultancy, and I offer investment solutions for the last 15 to 20 years in our community. My heart and passion is to see us as a community of people move forward and build solid businesses instead of being left behind always, especially in this current economic crisis. I have a real drive and passion for that.
Well, look, I mean, first things first, I mean, how is everything? I mean, how are you doing? How do you see things going during this particular time? I mean, it's like no other time really in history.
Well, yeah, this time is really an economic, a great time, shall I say, even though it started off in a negative term with COVID-19, but we're in the, how can I say, the greatest wealth transfer in this period of time since the whole of humanity in this Western civilization. because
Wow.
right now so much economic activity is happening. We're in the time where the government is just pumping money into the streets. So far, I think they've pledged over 333 billion pounds into the system. So you see businesses are, which speak for the last 3 months, businesses were literally just shut down. So there was no economics flowing through the city, you know what I'm saying? But now the government's creating these all new initiatives to get business pumping back into the community. They started by the furlough program, which they furloughed like almost 90% of the businesses in the country. So people who are unemployed, you know what I'm saying, to help businesses and people get still become employed at, get salaries at a lower rate. Now we see the society going back to normal. Furlough slowly coming to an end, but they've got other initiatives like the business bounce back scheme, where they're giving businesses interest rates and loans of up to £50,000 for 2.5%. We see new government initiatives like government stamp duty being waived first time ever for 6 months. We've seen healthcare policies being resumed. So we've seen a lot of economic activity were happening in society, but sadly, our community is always the last one to take advantage of these opportunities. So this is where we want to come and start creating a major difference and put our community and our Black businesses at the forefront of Black economics so we can excel in this current crisis.
Okay. Now, obviously, I'm going to ask you that question. Why do you feel that we tend to be, you've been working in this field for at least, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. Why is it that we seem to fail time after time after time? And even though we have businesses, we've got business leaders, why we seem to be at the back?
Well, I'll say I'll say we do have business leaders, you know what I'm saying? But how can I say, businesses almost run like a sport. But in our community, we run business like as individuals. We don't see business as a team sport. You know what I'm saying? So because we don't see it as a team sport, we don't have the best people on our teams to make our business excel. And in our community, when we have an idea, we always think about, let's keep this idea to ourselves. But one of the mottos I've always taken on is a motto for David Rockefeller. He said, 1% efforts of 100 people is better than 1% efforts of 100% efforts of your own. So I repeat, 1% efforts of 100 people is better than 100% efforts of your own. And in our community, we always have 100% efforts of our own. Are you with me? So it's harder for us to move as a collective, or as a unit, or a business economic hub, where we can share resources, power, information, and get access to a lot of stuff which is available in our community. That's one of the key driving initiatives. And also, the top 1% of businesses always do business together. They've got access to the top finances, the top accountants, the top specialists, which keep us out of the game of real sport and business, and help where we can't really advance that much.
Okay. All right. So, what you're saying there is really, really quite serious and quite telling, and it kind of, I suppose, it kind of shows us that, okay, well, what you actually said formally, i.e., this great wealth transfer, and that we're going to be kind of on it. What do you feel that are going to be the first thing that businesses really need to do going forward, especially during during this time? What is going to be the first thing we're going to need to do?
Well, I'll say a lot of us businesses in our community, we don't have the right structures for our ideas. We walk around with our ideas and our businesses in our heads. Are you with me? And we can't really execute a business which is in our heads. You with me? A business needs to have a solid plan. It needs to have a solid infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, it would either have, say, for example, if it's community driven, it would be a community organization. We have the infrastructure of our limited company by guarantee, non-for-profit, by CRC. If it's a company, it'd be a limited company or be a partnership. We don't really access all these vehicles, because all these are vehicles to raise wealth. Another thing is we don't understand how to raise wealth in our community to get access to capital. All businesses need capital in order to grow. but we don't know how to access the different types of capital out there in order to fund the growth of our business. And that's really, I can say, how we really struggle a lot of the time. In our community, we're so creative, we can take a pound and make that pound last so long, you know what I'm saying? But a pound can't really build $1 billion business. Are you with me? So we need real capital to build big, solid businesses and move our enterprises forward and get access to a lot of the millions and billions of pounds, which is available out there. And a lot of us in our community, we're scared of money. And there's a saying, scared money don't make no money. You know what I'm saying? And we really scared of to get like access to grants or access to business loans, like 10 to 20, 50 grand, 100 grand, 250 grand. You know what I'm saying? In a real venture capital world, a real business investment opportunity starts from £1 to £5 million. Repeat, £1 to £5 million. The average person in our community can just about handle £50,000. So imagine the mindset shift that needs to happen there.
Of
We
course.
can just about have £1,000. But the average business investment in the venture capital world starts from £1 to £5 million. So it shows you what the progress that we need to make to move our ideas forward in our community.
Wow. So, I mean, I know that you also work on marketing tips in regards to our businesses. What would be the tips that you would, at least give us 3 tips that you would give to really help us in regards to getting our business out there to market?
Well, I'll say now we live in the greatest time. I remember when I first started my business, we had to use flyers, we had to use all these things, but were non-digital. But now we can use all these platforms which are out there. I take, for example, Facebook and Instagram, not to talk about YouTube or Google, just Facebook and Instagram, we can access over a billion people. Just imagine your business can be accessing a billion people, not only in one country, in several different countries. So we got to understand platforms like Facebook have made it very technological advanced to get your products, services, or business out there. Not only that, they've got technology on the platform called machine learning. They've got pixels. They've got all these advanced technological features on their platform. If you can start running ads, you can definitely reach like 10 to 100,000 people in a short period of time. So if you study like how to run ads on these platforms, you can reach a large amount of people in a very short period of time. And not only that, you can start using the technology of these platforms to gauge your audience, to understand who are your users, who are your customers. Are you with me? So once you understand who are your customers, then you can start to sell to your customers. So then also you can start to test your products and services to see how effective and efficient they are in the real marketplace. So I will say the key aspect is, I will say, to just choose a platform for exposure, be it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and master that one platform. So once you master that one platform, you'll definitely have the reach to take your product, service, or business to find the right demographic and use the technology on the platform to start selling products, services, or get access to resources, or just disseminate of information of your business, product, or service.
Okay, that sounds serious. And one of the things I know that there's another divide. Okay, if I'm doing social media, do I pay in regards to my advertising, or do I find intricate ways to use an organic way to now promote and market using social media?
Well, I always like paid traffic because paid traffic is predictable. So say, for example, you was running a account for like £10 a day and you was generating leads or sales, and you start from £10 a day, and you say, for example, over £10 a day, you had a budget of maybe £50 for 5 days. After 5 days, you can scale that to £20 a day, to £30 a day, to £40 a day, to £100 a day. You've got predictability in that you can generate sales again, or you can generate users again and again and again. So wherever you have organic, you can't really scale with organic. With me, but organic is good if you don't have funds to reach, if you don't have financial resources in your business. Definitely, there's more cold traffic techniques that you can use. For example, especially for example, taking the Instagram platform. you might reach out to 10 to 20 influencers who've got audiences of maybe 50 to 100,000 people to get your message out there. So influencer marketing is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very powerful. So you can start building your audience and awareness slowly like that. But eventually you want to move over to paid traffic, because paid traffic is scalable. You can reach so much people in a short period of time. And definitely you can start to track your numbers with paid traffic.
Okay, okay, that sounds all right. That sounds kind of serious to me. And you feel that what, Instagram or Facebook, or now people are now talking about LinkedIn as another way. Which one do you feel that may be the better way to actually go and drive your business, or is it just down to what type of product you're selling?
So it is types of what product or service selling, but I like to work with a range of platforms, because I never like to be dependent on one platform.
Right.
So I'll classify Facebook and Instagram going hand in hand, because Facebook own Instagram. But then also you have YouTube and Google, I'm saying, which are owned by the same people. But each one of them have platforms, have different features, different capabilities, different audiences. So when you understand your audience, then you can start reaching out. Even when you talk about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is more of a professional platform. So if you've got a more professional service or business-to-business service, you might use LinkedIn. If your business is more end-driven, user-driven, you could use platforms like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, even more developing platforms like Snapchat. So it depends what product what product or service that you have. I'll say choose a platform to begin with, master that platform before you move on to another platform, and then you can understand how to utilize that platform to your best of ability.
Okay. What about websites? Do you think a website is something kind of useful as, I don't know, small or medium-sized business?
Well, yeah, I would say the traditional websites, I would say they're dinosaurs. They're dead. Nowadays, we use what we call sales funnels. So sales funnel might be a landing page and it's proactive. It's telling the user or the customer what to do at every given step of the funnel. So if you're selling a product or service, it'll be a one simple landing page with a call to action. It may be to capture email, it may be to capture interest of that product, or you're taking it through a series of steps. So that landing page or that sales funnel becomes an active salesperson other than a static website. Most people have static websites, which are information-based. But with a static website, you can't really convey a message to your end user or your customer or your server. So static websites are more like libraries. So libraries, you don't really see many libraries around nowadays, because the day of information, which is static, has evolved so much more. We're in an information age. When people come to a landing page, now they want to see active. You might see a little script or bot pop up, like in the corner, like message us for support. Are you interested in this product, or how can we help you? These are active bots which are on your website, engaging your audience or your customer or your prospect what's coming. And that way, if they're engaged, you can start asking them questions and taking them down the flow, your sales funnel, to the direction where you want to go.
Okay. All right. So the sales funnel, because that's another thing that I know that some people say are contentious, because the sales funnel means that you will go down the the email route, and some people say, well, okay, well, is that actually still kind of viable? Is the email isn't the email maybe a dinosaur? And what would you say in regards to email marketing?
I'll say email marketing is the backbone of like online business. Whether it be email, now we're transcribing to text messages. These are the backbone of the businesses, for example, because it's all about the data. You know what I'm saying? The data that you're retrieving. If you've got customers or users that you come to your website and they scroll, say, imagine you're getting like 2,000 people a week to your website every single week. At the end of the month, that's like 8,000 people, and you've never retained one of those people's information. But if you've got their email or you've got their phone number, you know what I'm saying, you can start sending marketing messages to communicate to them or just retarget them. So you're constantly building a rapport with your audience and with your prospects or customers. So most people have to see a product or service 7 times before they make a conscious
Yeah,
decision.
yeah, yeah.
So if you understand they have to see a message, have to see a product or service 7 times, and that means if they just hit your website once, how many more methods of engagement would you have with that
Right.
person who just disappeared? You
Okay.
won't with me. So you're always having cold prospects. You're not building a relationship with your audience. Once you start building a relationship with your audience, now you can position in the prospect of your mind, your product, your service, and start to build that relationship via whether it be via email, via text message, or by marketing messages and targeting through remarketing, by them seeing your banners on other websites, but you're constantly engaging in your customers.
Right. I've got so many questions. One, um, I've got a promotion that I'm doing. How many times a week should I actually pump that particular message out? Or is it like maybe, I don't know, maybe is it 7 times a week on maybe, a few platforms, or try to think, maybe 5 or 6 platforms and just do it one time?
Well, I'll say, especially if you have a message and you're on numerous different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, maybe YouTube, you know what I'm saying, it's best to have a content syndication strategy, or use a platform or where you have a message but it goes out on multiple different platforms at the same time. Normally, a lot of campaigns and clients or projects that we work with on, we have a content syndication strategy. So our message is getting hit on numerous different platforms at the same time. Normally they say for especially on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, every platform responds differently. But so sometimes it's good to, I'll say, consistency is the key at all times. Some platforms is better to post at least once or twice a day. So you've got a constant interaction. You've got constant lifeblood, because the message is, if you're not posting a message to your audience, someone else is. And in the information age, you know what I'm saying, you want to put your brand or your service at the pinnacle or the forefront of your prospects or your customers all the time. So the more you do that, the more you post, the more you communicate, the more they remember you, the more they're gonna take be in mind's eye of your prospect or customer, which is so key, especially in this information-driven age.
Absolutely, absolutely. And two other two other ways of promoting and marketing. I know, but this is very much old school. Uh, Word of mouth, or some, or people, joining. I mean, coming to a meeting, or now in this case, coming to a Zoom or Instagram and webinar, what have you. How much influence do those things still have?
Well,
I.e.,
I'll say,
word of mouth, first of all.
well, word of mouth is powerful, you know what I'm saying, but it's only got so much reach. How much can one person or 2 people or 10 people, you know what I'm saying? I know I can run an ad, for example, if I was doing an event or doing a webinar, and reach like 50 to 100,000 people in a day just with paid traffic. Are you with me? So it's just how much reach, or how much reach do you want to have with whatever, if you run the webinar, whatever product or event that you can have. So word of mouth is very powerful. But I will say, one thing you can use is word of mouth also with another platform, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, or even if you're, yeah, because then basically, you find that people, social proof is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? So you can have tools where you can say this person's attending this event, or 5 people attend this event. So then that's still another element of word of mouth on the platform, but you're having user engagement saying, all right, Paul's coming to this event, John's coming to this event. So in my friends list, everybody knows that I'm attending some kind of event or service or using. So that word of mouth digitally online becomes even much more powerful, because you've got personal endorsements. You with me? You've got testimonials and once you have that, then if you know someone who's going to an event, or know someone who bought a product, becomes a powerful mind, how can I say, trigger in order to activate someone else or someone in that close friend could to do the same thing, take the same action.
Okay, I hear you. Another question I wanted to ask you. I mean, you have been. I mean, I said you've been doing this. You know, running. You know, your businesses for a number of years. Who do you see as a, I know, whether it's a medium size or a big company that you feel that, you know, their particular marketing strategy is things that we could actually learn from?
Well, I would say I don't learn from a lot of big size companies. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
learn from a lot of underground marketers.
Okay,
You
cool.
with me? Yes, because reason being, these technology platforms move so fast and so quickly. Yeah, I'm saying like it's the underground marketers who are on the ground who are picking up the gems of how these platforms are transforming, how they're taking where the big conglomerates. Yeah, I'm saying they've got big marketing companies. They take time. They're hiring people from academic spheres. Yeah, I'm saying, and like not in a bad way, but if you came out of university with a marketing degree, by the time you execute it, it's obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Because all new platforms like Snapchat, like TikTok are popping up. You know what I'm saying? We were never even taught in university. Are you with me? So the question is, if you still have come from that background, how are you going to advance? You with me? I know there's times when I do do consultancy for marketing companies, they don't have the faintest idea how to run ads on these platforms because they've got a marketing mindset which is like the 4 P's: price, product, or place, which is like almost 50 years old in the academic world of teaching. You with me? So because we're on technological platforms what change every from 4 to 6 months, a new platform, a new algorithm can change in such a relatively short period of time. Facebook is always updating their algorithms. Instagram's always updating their algorithms. YouTube is always updating their algorithms. Snapchat is always uploading, and new platforms are developing at such a rapid space. So it's hard to yes so I would say you'd have to be in the grassroots of things and be on the ground and study these platforms yourself and work with other underground marketers, you know what I'm saying, who are at the kind of edge of this sphere and change.
Quick question, and I know my audience is going to be asking, what is an algorithm? What is, you know, you said Snapchat.
I'll say algorithm is just like how can I say it's just a piece of technology or it's a form how it's a pattern how a platform uses to mimic or retain information. Like Facebook's got their own algorithm, Instagram's got their algorithm, so it's almost you can say like a computerized theory spot what takes information, records it, and tells us information about a user, how they behave, how they respond, etc. So say for example, the Facebook algorithm can change very rapidly. So Facebook's got thousands and millions of users. So those users have engagement of how they engage. For example, on Instagram, they engage to posts, how they engage to likes, how they engage to Snapchat. But behind there's software programs of recording all this information and then which is turned in an algorithm to see, say for example, if we put on a post, how that post will react to engagement, how it will react to hashtags. So basically it's a lot of computer driven languages which record data for us to understand how a responsive a platform can be.
Okay, okay. Just as we're now kind of coming down, climbing down, I mean, as someone who has been in the field for, you know, 15, 20 years, what is your philosophy in regards to, you know, in regards to business?
Well, I was saying because business, we're in a time like it's best to start building your own business and do for self. You know what I'm saying? Especially all by the time we are in right now, the whole country is being furloughed. You see businesses closing at a rapid scale of rate. People already, just because of COVID-19, they already got used to the mindset of working from home. You know what I'm saying? Big corporations are now, we're going back to the age where entrepreneurs will be highly favored in this time. I'm hearing people going for jobs, and at least there's got like 500 to 1,000 applicants for one job. Are you with me? So the whole industry of getting a job or getting education, going to getting a job and staying in a job for the next 5 to 10 years is almost dying. We're in a stage age where you're forced to become an entrepreneur. You're going to be forced to go and start your own business. You know what I'm saying? Because we were forced to stay at home. So
Yeah,
this time we were forced to be at home. Psychologically, we adapted the mindset of not going to work in a 9 to 5 environment in an office building. So this is, how can I say, this has been a mind shift of say like 80 so years where we've seen this 9 to 5 mindset come. Now people are actually used to learning from home, working from home. You with me? So there's a whole mindset shift happening. So now we're in a mindset of shift where we're going to be forced to come up or develop a business for ourselves, suffer the consequences. So I'll say this time, we're moving towards the information age where we have to be equipped of how we can start our own businesses, like from the desktop, our own desktop or our own kitchen table. And as jobs become redundant, we're going to be forced to become entrepreneurs.
exactly. Okay, so now going on to future plans and what we are going to now do future, what we are going to do going forward. What is the future?
Well, we've got so much future plans. I will say, first and foremost, we want to take advantage of COVID-19 and the opportunities that it presents.
Mhm.
It presents an amazing like array of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? The government have got all these awesome opportunities which we want our community to take part of. Some of them are grant initiatives, basically because of Black Lives Matter, racial profile. There's millions and millions of pounds in grant funding where the government is just enrolling out, for example, every month. You know what I'm saying? Also, with the help of the Bounce Back Loan. The Bounce Back Loan is an initiative where the government is giving businesses which have suffered economically like up to £50,000 to kickstart and bounce back their business in their community. A lot of people in our community who've got companies or self-employed who are actually eligible for it, but we've got very few of our businesses, our companies, our businesses in our community going for these resources, and the government is favorable helping us. For example, the government is helping businesses like Richard Branson. They awarded him £1 billion. Imagine £1 billion for the businesses that he has in order to kickstart and get back his businesses to the normal way of working. Other businesses getting like Ryanair and other businesses who've got employees over 10 to 20,000 employees. They're giving 50 to 100 million pounds. Imagine 50 to 100 million pounds. So the level of wealth which is going to be created in the next 18 to 24 months is going to be substantial. But at least in the community, we can start to take advantage by even getting access to like a bounce back loan. You know what I'm saying, and riding on some of these opportunities which are available in our community right now as we speak, before the government actually pulls them away from the economy.
Okay. All right, so that sounds very, very serious, and I know it's something that we're going to be speaking about and pushing that initiative. So I guess I would say to our viewers, yeah, definitely watch this space. That's right. And one of the last questions I wanted to ask you before we get to the end. I mean, what advice would you give to someone who's watched this podcast and said, you know what, boy, I like what Johnny's saying. I think I've got to do it for self. What would advice you would give for someone, at least maybe a few tips on what you really need to do first going into starting your business?
Well, I would say first of all, starting your business, I would say first of all, you need to have a vision. And I'm a great believer of writing your vision down on paper.
Mm.
You with me? Rather than having it in a head. Because even when I have ideas, if I don't write them on paper, if I can't see them, I can't manifest them. So I'd say write them down, and I'll say just um first of all write your goals down and identify what truly makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? And what are your passions and what are your skills? I always say people will always excel in their passion and in their skills. I'm saying if you understand what your passions and what your skills and what your core strengths are, these are going to be key definitives on what's going to make you successful.
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. All right, that sounds fantastic, fantastic. So, John, um, how and what can we do to contact you if someone wants to contact yourself in regards to your business? How do we get in contact with you?
Oh, basically, they can contact me either at fivestarbusinesssupport.com, or they can contact me on Instagram at John Mohammed, or they can contact me on Facebook at John Mohammed, or they can contact by yourself. And definitely, yeah, we can make something happen and take advantage of some of these big opportunities which are happening in our community.
Indeed, 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 indeed. Okay. John, as per usual, you are a font of knowledge. You've definitely enlightened me, and I'm certain for sure that you've enlightened those of us who have been watching this. And as I said, we will definitely be pointing people to your direction in the not too distant future. So, so those who are watching this, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let people know what we're doing, and this is really fantastic, important information for us to take on right now. Don't be the last in the queue. So with that, John, again, I want to thank you again so much for coming on, and I want to say to our brothers and sisters, make sure you keep in touch with what we're doing in the Money Mob. If you want to send us and drop us a line, we are at moneymobinfo@gmail.com, or further to that, we will be, you can get us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Money Mob 101. Or if you want to contact us or text us, you can text and WhatsApp us on 07737 080554. And with that, I want to say take care. Remember to support Black business. Remember to support the Money Mob, for it definitely is the future of Black economics. Good evening.